It counted down for itself again. There's some kind of magical creature in the phone that spots when I'm here and decides that it wants to film me. It's very disconcerting. Anyway, there's no Arthur, you see, so hang on, is the plant in? We've got to get this set up right. Arthur is not here, but I am. I'm back, and I mean, you didn't know I'd gone away, but I've been writing a book. And so these have been a bit thin on the ground because with Arthur not here and then me not here, we're here. That was a long introduction, enough probably for some people who have turned off and gone away. But I'm going to talk about roots today. I want to talk about roots. We're unfortunately then going to have to just make the noises for ourselves because, well, there's no one here to do it for us. I brought a prop though. This is Vetiver. It was given to me by Pat, who is a customer, and finds lovely things she thinks I might like, sends them. She once accidentally sent me a fountain pen that her mother had given her in a packet of just normal things, and then just wrote this little note saying, I didn't include a fountain pen by accident, did I? And yeah. So I gave it back. Because you know. Yes, so this is Vetiver root. This is the stuff that is in 1/3 of all fragrances targeted at men, apparently. And it is a root. As you see, it grows. This is quite short. They can grow quite long. But there's a problem with Vetiver. You might have heard that it prevents soil erosion, which is great, as long as you don't harvest it. See? Sticks in the ground, keeps the soil there. Handy. You harvest it too enthusiastically, rip it all out, and with no thought of what's left behind, the soil all washes away and that's it. You have to move on to somewhere else, leaving devastation behind. So we have to be very careful from whom we buy it. But let's smell some, because there are some different ones. I have 3 different Vetivers here. I've got 4 somewhere, but I think I ran out as Brazilian, and you just don't know sometimes what people were digging up in order to plant the vetiver. Sorry, I mustn't hit the microphone because I forgot I've got one of those fluffy things on because it should be better quality. Vetiver, Java. This one is the smokiest. Oh, look, big hands. Yeah, it's not. I should try and keep the hands back so that I don't look like the hand monster in the bottle and stuff. Yeah. So the one from Java. This one is the smokiest. Vetiver. Some people think it smells very fresh and green because they've smelt a fragrance called Vetiver, but they've never smelt the raw material. So they get a big surprise if I give them the Java one and they get, that's not Vetiver, that's not what it smells like. Then they smell something like cis-3-hexanol, which is it's nice. I'm not going to make Arthur-like noises, I just go quiet. Just like, rather than, Should we all do Arthur noises together? Like, Sorry. But it does smell almost burnt. It smells singed, this one. I hardly use it, and the reason is, it's funny, when I bought it, the guys were saying, and I bought it from Floral Concept, who've just got bought themselves by Simrise. Interesting. Because that's set up by the grandchildren of the actual Monique Rémy, and Laboratoire Monique Rémy has been bought by IFF. And they were independent, and now they aren't. So anyway, they bought this and they were going, it's a little problematic. And I thought they meant it's difficult to get hold of, whatever. And I said, but it's exactly the smell I want. Turns out it's got a really high furfural level, which is very restricted. So this particular Vetiver, I can use a tiny amount of. So I've still got quite a lot left. But it's okay, it seems to get better, smoother. So little bits of that for if I really want a kind of burnt effect. Doesn't smell so rooty to me. Nice though. Okay, I'm going to write on it so that I don't lose track. Vetiver J. Good. Which one should we have next then? There's, where did I even put them? Okay, here we go. Been using this one. And you know when you think you're going to sneeze? Anyway, this one is the one from Haiti. Now, that's got its own problems. It's going to be like Goldilocks and the Three Bears now. This one's got too much furfural. This one you can't get hold of for political and disastrous reasons. So Haiti's just in the wrong place. You know, it has hurricanes and all kinds of things keep going wrong with it. And then when they don't have an economic disaster, they have another military coup. So if I can buy from Haiti, I will, because the Haitians need assistance. So this one is very much calmer than the Vetiver one. Sorry, the Java one, they're all Vetiver. Java still smells singed, like you've just accidentally set fire to the roots and then blown them out quickly. This one is more, I would say, Brazil nutty. The Haiti one smells just more. I mean, they all are very woody. It's like they smell more woody sometimes than woods to me. Wood essential oils. I mean, things like cedar atlas smells like animals. Doesn't smell like trees. And finally, I have the Malawi one, which, if you follow us and you've watched me talking about it. Oh, I forgot to say hello. My name's Sarah, and I make perfume. This YouTube lark, and Vimeo lark, and this is my favourite. It's my favourite for so many reasons, because the Malawi vetiver is harvested sustainably. How, you might wonder? Because what they do is they don't pull the whole root system out at once. They take each plant and they take out half. They leave the other roots in place. So they have to take them out carefully, not just ripping the whole lot out of the ground. And then the rest of the plant regrows, and then they can go back the following year and take out the other half. And that regrows. And so hence, you know, like the very definition almost of sustainability, it keeps growing downwards, and they can keep taking some out of it. So I had a kilo for a while back, and then I used it all up, and I thought, oh, I do hope they're still going, because sometimes these projects start and they're so good and they're so much better for the earth, and then the prices are too high. So people try to bargain them down, or they just go somewhere else for them, and these things just stop. And this one, fortunately, is still there. So I bought another 5 kilos, which makes me very happy. So this is the Malawi one. And this one is very nutty. I think it smells more like sesame seeds. So that's your vetivers. Now, other roots. Other roots you can take to get you where you're going. Sorry. I'm going to add in one that is not a root at all. It is not a plant. But added to these, it helps them smell even more rooty. For this is Veramos, methyl atratate. And it's the weirdest thing, because you put it with some things and it smells mossy. I mean, Veramos, you know, truly mossy. That's what veracity, the truth, smells like the real thing. Very deep and dark. Very foresty. But you can put it with cologne and it smells like the seaside. And you put it with vetiver and it makes the vetiver smell more rooty, like you really are deep in the forest. So, I mean, try it. That's just the Malawi going nice and fresh, and then the two of them together. It's just much more down it goes. So, yeah, you want to dig deeper in your roots, then I would say that to add aromas to it is a good idea. So, what else do we have here? Oh, wait, we have, these are the good days. Finished version. Look at the colour on that. So I've been wearing a lot of rooty things. A quick top up. If there's only this, I mean, there's a little bit more. I've got some of the concentrate here. But I diluted this morning for a photo. But yeah, so these are the good days is all about the earth. This is one of the things it has in it. I mean, there's a bunch of that Malawi vetiver in there too also. Right. At least this time, I've not been dipping 2 strips and handing them over to nothing. That's because I often do that. If I'm here, I've just got so in the habit of dipping 2 of everything and handing it over. So Arthur should be back soon. But yeah, there'll be the 2 of us again. I'm fine by myself, really. Carrot. See, I know what it is, so I can't get a, what's that? So like, here, smell this. Let's get a, what's that? Carrot, absolute. Okay, so, but it is made from, I understand, the leaves. The carrot itself would be too watery, too aqueous in order to be able to extract from. So, but a lot of the time, carrot essential oil comes from the seeds, but it does still smell very rooty. This is leaf carrot, absolute. But it does smell as if it's come from the ground. Because it has, you know. I mean, all plants come from the ground. Okay, not all plants. Some come from the sea. And then there's those ones that just grow in the air. But most plants have roots. Almost sweet, the carrot. But I like, okay, so I'm going carrot, Vetiver Malawi, aromas. Smells brighter. You just don't know. This is why I really do think you can't get the AI to do this for you, because you smell one thing, it smells of a thing. You smell another thing, it smells of a different thing. You put 2 or 3 together, it's like, boop, where did that come from? And yet the molecules will be being measured, like, oh, we got that, and we got that, and we got that. Yes, I understand it. But brains interpret things in completely different ways. They will smell one thing, they'll give priority to one thing. Oh, talking of that, I should get the geosmin out, because although it is not a root, it's the earthiest thing. I'm coming round to it. But thing about it is petrichor itself, the which means it's named after stone, Petra, and ichor, the fluid that runs through the bodies of Greek gods, right? So petrichor was named that by some Australian scientist whose names I forget, but it's 50 different materials. It's about 50 different molecules which are released when rain hits dry earth. And we can detect something like 1 part in 7 billion. Now, a machine would just go, oh yeah, it's there, but there's hardly any of it. And then humans would go, oh my goodness, that's really taking over. So that's why if you really want to know what something smells like and you've got put things together, you've got to, humans have to smell it. And someone else will go, don't like that. You might think you've got the most beautiful thing ever or the most terrible thing ever. Somebody will love that, somebody will hate it. So geosmin is just one of the molecules of the 50. But on the other hand, around here somewhere is the material, please guess, that has all of those things in it. Ha 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 ha. And that's the Atar mitti, which is not a root. It's made from sandalwood and clay pots. But the earth itself is from the ground. You want something earthy? Roots got to have something to grow in, which is just delightful. It's funny, I had someone in here, had a mother and daughter. And this daughter, she's like one of the brightest people I've ever had in the room. She just picked everything up like that. So her mom is from India. And when I said it was called Atar mitti in my attempted best Hindi accent, she said, why would you want that? I'm like, because it's beautiful. And she said, it literally means the smell of mud. And it's the perfume of the earth, smell of mud. She said, what do you want to wear that for? But it's a 1,000-year-old tradition and it's come from Kannauj and it's really beautiful. And she's like, I thought she'd really like it. Like, it smells of mud. It's maybe if what you're used to doesn't appeal to you quite so much. But I suppose, yeah, it just must come out differently when it's in your own mother tongue. And we think it's the perfume of the earth, and she just does, it's the smell of mud. What do you want that for? I thought it was great. Anyway, so Atar mitti, in my best British accent, is just gorgeous. Clay pots distilled with sandalwood, and if you want the smell of the earth, smell of mud, then use that, which I have done indeed in These Are the Good Days, because I'd forgotten. And then Arthur said, you have put Atar mitti in it, haven't you? And I had forgotten, so I remade it, several versions, and now it does. So that's good. There's the one thing that I've forgotten, of course. Oh, well, we'll start with this version. This is something which does smell very earthy and very irisy also. There are two materials called irisone. This is a bit of a nuisance, right? Because one of them is an irisone. It's the smartest, cleanest, most beautiful version of irisone alpha, but it's got a trade name of irisone. This one's called irisone as well. This one's from Cinnarome. Irisone, so I call it irisone crystals because I want to make sure that I know which is which. That out of the way. But this also squeaks, also earthy and a bit Orrisy, a little bit violety. So if you want to smell like you've just taken some violets and potted them next to some irises, and you've still got the earth on your hands, you want the irisone crystals. If you want the most beautiful irisone, ironone, if you want the most beautiful ironone alpha, get the other irisone. I'm intrigued by this one. It's a bit, no, it's magical. It's like a secret place where you would expect to find, well, a friendly coven that just looked like, perfectly normal people, not dressed up in pointy hats or anything like that. Just like, yeah, come here for some magic. Yeah, okay, and you come. I'm describing my studio. So that's one step on the way towards the Orris. Funny thing about Orris, many funny things about Orris, but okay, so the root of the Florentine iris has to be harvested and then dried. It's okay. It's not really a root. It's a rhizome, rhizome. But it looks like a root, but it's like a bulby, not long and thin. So it's not a root, it's not a bulb, it's a rhizome. As irises spread, these things grow, so they're sustainable. But they have to be dried for about 4 years before they start to have any aroma. At which point then you can turn them into an absolute or similar. Mine's actually a CO2 extract. And I know it's here, I found it. Very expensive. I smelt one that was £80,000 a kilo. I said, I don't suppose you can do samples of it. No. Because it's 1 gram, that would mean 1 gram would be £80. So I wasn't getting a sample. But I was allowed to smell it. So we worked out like just a little bit dipped on the strip was probably about £5. This is not that. This is Orris Givco, which is made by Givaudan to smell just like Orris. And it's a lot less expensive, and you sort of can't tell. The other thing it smells a little bit dusty. It's powdery in that it's not baby powdery. Some people, when they say powdery, they think of Johnson's. It's not the thing. Powdery. This Orris was the original powder. It was powdered down. These dried roots were powdered down, and in the court of Louis XIV and the other expensiveness on from that, right until people got their heads chopped off, and dressing up like that became very unfashionable in that way. There was a move in fashion against wigs, away from wigs and powder and paint and, beauty spots and all of those things that people used to have at that time. And there was a move to naturalness, kind of Greek goddess kind of muslin plain frocks, away from all the embroidery, a move against the excesses of that time. But during the excesses of that time, people would powder their wigs and their bodies and their clothes to try and keep away the fleas and everything else and just the general pong, because these clothes weren't washed because they would fall apart. The embroidery on them was so delicate they had to be just worn till they dropped apart or ended up in the Victoria and Albert Museum. So Orris was this very luxurious thing that people used to powder themselves with, and they would stand there getting powdered by the servants, which is where the name powder room came from. And that smell got moved into makeup. So face powder, lipsticks, that is the kind of rose and powdered rose petals and powdered Orris, that became the smell of face powder. But some people just think it smells like old wardrobes. And I made a fragrance called Enthusiasm, which was the smell of Hendrick's gin, which is made with Orris and rose and various bits and pieces. But anyway, somebody sent one back because they said it had gone off, and her husband said, no, it's gone rotten. It smells horrible. It's really disgusting. And I said, I'm pretty sure you are talking about the £16,000 Orris butter I have used in it. I mean, not that much, but it was 16,000 a kilo. I bought a tiny amount to make this. And she said, oh, no, 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 it's gone rotten. And it came back and it was perfect. You know, Orris is not for everyone. But at least she sent it back and didn't like, actually throw it away because she thought it had gone off. But yeah, it's an acquired taste, which is why I suggest you acquire Orris Živko rather than actual Orris if you're not sure that you're going to like it. The actual Orris. Now this is funny because oh yeah, it's there. Because I know everybody's going to be going, it's behind you, because I genuinely forgot I'd seen it. But there are a lot of bottles here. There are. So the difference, is there a difference? Oh yeah. I forget sometimes. I think like, this is so good. This is so Orrisy. It's so, and then you smell this and you go, I was just about to say you really can't tell. And then I smell this and I go, yeah, that's why you spend the money. It's creamy. I mean, it's and still people think it smells like it's gone off and it's the back of a wardrobe. It's all right, fine. Just sitting listening to me breathing is not that interesting. Although it's best if I keep breathing. How to describe this? It's like layers of finely woven silk floating on a breeze, many of them wafting around. It doesn't have a violet kind of a color. It's just cream. But if you just blow a little bit, you can imagine it just waving. They're all waving at you. They're almost as if they're turning just into smoke or dust. And then they're gone. It's fairy tale stuff, this. You mustn't waste it. I mean, don't get some and just pour it in because I've said it's beautiful. Because otherwise the price goes up, you know. Sometimes people buy this, put a tiny amount in a fragrance just so they can say they've put some in. You can't tell. And they'll then send 1 million bottles, use up the world's supply, and really we need it. So I'm going to end because I don't have anything else more to say because this is just so beautiful. Yeah. I put some in this as well. Right. Okay. It's amazing how much I can think of to talk about even when there's nobody here. I'll see you. Ooh. I'll try not to lock the plant over.